In this video, I'm going to go through a 5-step framework on how to get your first 1,000 users as a social app. The first realization is that your app needs a crowd to be viable. What that means, if you look at apps like Facebook, Uber, Tinder, if Tinder only had your mom, your dad, and your grandma on it, then there'd be no one on Tinder, right? As opposed to apps like Notebook or Kali or Camera, right? Your app needs a crowd to be viable. So the more people that are on it, the more viable it is, right? So number one is define your ICP and value proposition, right? And this one, I'm not going to dive into right now, but I'm going to dive into it at the end when it's going to make a lot more sense. So I'm just going to head on to number two, which is the two approaches that you need to take if you want to grow your first 1,000 users, right? And the first approach is show the existing crowd, right? I'm sure you already have, your family on it, your mom, your dad, your aunt on it, right? Create social objects that they're willing to share, right? For example, Spotify Wrapped, right? Like people are happily posting their Spotify Wrapped on their Instagram stories, and that grows Spotify, that builds this community around Spotify, right? Just like that, if you have objects that people are willing and happy to share, like an Ace or a Victory Royale or the Pokemon cards, there's always someone who's sharing their concert experience on Instagram, right? Something like that, right? Social objects. And there's obviously so many different ways. That's just one example to show an existing crowd. Number two, the second approach is make it super fun and easy to join. And what that means is having an amazing funnel. And for those of you who don't know what a funnel is, it's fine. A funnel is just taking someone who doesn't know anything about your site or your product into a paying user. And for this, let's assume that you don't have a pricing model yet, so you're just trying to get them as a user. Okay, so number three is how do we get awareness? And what that means is how do we get someone that doesn't know anything about your site, anything about your product, to someone who's aware of it. So there's 4 ways that we can do this: warm outreach, cold outreach, free content, and paid ads. This is from Alex Hermosi, by the way. Amazing dude, amazing videos. But for now, we'll eliminate paid ads because, let's try not to make the cost too much, right? So warm outreach is the first thing that I explore, which is what social objects are, which is how do we get people that are already on your site to talk about it to their friends, their family, their coworkers, right? How do we get that warm, there's this app here, you should check it out. Number 2 is cold outreach. This is talking to people that don't know anything about you and that really don't trust you. So this is where you get into cold DMs, right? Best places would be on Instagram, Twitter, Reddit, maybe Discord, right? Places where people don't know anything about you, but you're DMing them and you're bringing awareness to your site. Number 3 is free content. This one is really going to get that exponential growth for you, where you post virality hooks, or you position yourself, you bring out your story of why you started this company. There's many different ways to do it, but this is just going to be an overview. So number 4 is landing page. So now everyone's aware of what your product is. Now you're trying to convert them and bring them onto your site, or maybe it's an iOS app and you're trying to get them to download it. So number 1 is problem unaware. So these people don't know that they have a problem. So the first part of the landing page is to show that you have a problem, right? So it's here's why if you don't sleep 8 hours a night, that it's actually bad for your health, right? Many people don't know that. Many people don't know that if you don't sleep 8 hours, then you can have problems, right? So you show the problem. The second step is for people who are solution unaware, but problem aware. So you want to show the solution. You want to show them that, if you do sleep 8 hours a night, then, or I guess your app, right? So your app lets you track how long you've been sleeping per night. And that's the solution, right? So you want to show the solution. So number 3 is solution aware. And there's some people who visit your landing page knowing that there's already a solution out there, but they're trying to compare if your solution is actually a good one. So you want to compare with competitors. You want to show testimonials that you actually have a good solution. So once you have a great landing page, you want to go on to the final step, which is onboarding, which is once they download the app, once they go onto the site, how do they have an actual good experience, right? Like I said in number 2, you want to make it fun. You want to make it fun to join. So number 1, make it personalized, right? In B2B sales, a lot of people don't know this, but the first 90% of the funnel is just making it super personalized to them. Every single email that you send in B2B sales is super researched, and it's very personalized. So you want to make it as personalized with a survey or with a form, And almost every single app does this nowadays, where it's like, are you a student, worker, or educator? What are you using this for? Or or some business apps ask, how much do you make per year, right? Make it personalized, and then you want to use that personalized information to get them to a win. So one of the things that I saw um, on Letterbox was they allow you to scroll through and pick the movies that you watched, right? And what they do to get you that win is they show you recommendations of movies that you can watch. So, for example, like I watch a lot of Telugu movies, so they start recommending me other Telugu movies that I probably would have watched or would like to watch that are in my niche, things that I'm interested in, which is a super cool dopamine hit that gets your users to feel like, okay, this guy understands me. Number three is don't make an escape room. This is probably not something that you'd be worrying about, especially in the early stages, because this comes in when you have a paywall or when you're really trying to get them to sign in. But a lot of users, they just want to come in and explore the site. So make it easy for them. Make it easy for them to just skip this questionnaire, maybe, right? Maybe they don't want to do it. Maybe they just want to explore the site. Let them do that. That's what I mean by don't make an escape room. By the way, this is all stolen from this girl. Don't have her channel name, but amazing channel. Yeah. So those are the 5 steps. And as I promised, I'm going to go back to define ICP and value proposition. And what that means is define your ideal customer persona, which is who is the ideal customer who's landing on your site, right? Be very specific about it. So for example, Letterbox, it's not just people who like film. It's very general, and it's going to be really hard for you to find those people. You want to go for, a very specific thing, which is what they did was specific film critics, right? Like specific hardcore film fans. Like I will die for film. Like I will, like there's so many times where I've teared up watching a film, and there's so many times where I've thought about the emotion of the specific scene, the specific moment, the specific reaction on an actor's face. And I wanted to talk about it, but most of my friends didn't relate with it, or they just watched it for enjoyment, right? So define your ICP and give them a really clear value proposition, right? Like this is what you'll get if you come onto my site. So for Letterboxd, it'll be very hardcore film critics. You don't really get that community elsewhere. And you want to talk about a specific film, a specific site. If you go onto a Discord page, right? They're talking about every single film, every single, scene. But Letterboxd allows you to go specific into the specific movie of S.R. Kalyana Mandapam, okay? And on that site, you go, okay, this specific scene where he was talking about his dad and talking about how much he respects his dad, that scene gave you goosebumps. And you can relate with other people who felt the exact same way. That's a very specific ICP and value proposition, right? But the more specific you get about that, the more easier it is to, show the existing ground, to make social objects, right? Like this ACE thing is made for like Twitch streamers or people who are like gamers who are like, dude, like I'm freaking amazing at this game, and this is my proof, ACE, right? Or Spotify app is like, I feel like now it's become a little more of like, oh, look at how I listen to these specific niche artists. But it could also be a way where it's like, sorry, Spotify isn't that best of an example. But yeah, man, I mean, once you define like a very specific ICP and value proposition, everything else becomes super easy of where to go for cold outreach, what type of content to post, right? What to put on your landing page, right? The more specific your landing page is, the easier it is gonna be to get your first 1,000 customers. So I hope you took some value from that. I don't ask for much. I just hope you took some value, and just by watching this video, you're showing me that what I'm doing is right and that I'm providing value out into the world, which is well. So thank you for watching this video, and I hope you have a great day, and I hope you took something away from this video, man. Thank you so much.